Are we live?
I'm nervous for this.
Same.
Did that work, Gloria?
We are live, guys. One email.
We're live.
And I see us, yes.
I'm gonna check.
Oh my god, this is exciting. I see us.
Woo! Oh!
Oh my god, this is exciting.
How live is live? Oh,
Guys, I can hear someone's YouTube.
Yeah, I can hear
Here's
it.
someone's YouTube. Yeah.
How live is live?
Oh, guys, I can hear someone's YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a bit lagged, guys. That was me playing.
Okay. So someone needs to see questions and stuff. And shall we wait until we get viewers?
Yeah, it can't be me though, because it's my screen that's streaming.
Okay, that's fine, I can do it. Let's do it. Do we want to send the link of our live into some chats?
Sure.
Yes.
Do it.
Can you hear me? There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got it. We've got one watcher, one person watching now. Okay, we don't have any questions, but okay, we've got two people watching. Have we sent a link?
I told my.
I mean, actually, we can ask people who are watching if they can type in the chat or something.
Yeah, if you guys can hear us and
Oh, it's two people watching.
Shall I ask my mum
and one
to
of them is
join?
me, and one of them is Gloria. So it's just me and Gloria.
Shall I ask my mum to join?
Yeah, I'm going to
Someone is
send it
watching
to my
our crap.
family group chat. I'm going to send it to my family group chat right now.
Two
do we
people
get the link?
watching.
Let's
Oh,
put it on
wait,
the
let me
Instagram.
join with mine as well. 3 people are watching. Let's raise the number. That's me, the third one.
I'm going to send it to Josh.
Where's Coventry? Live. It's starting now.
So when should we start officially?
When we have enough people.
Send a link to
Maybe
the
we
live
can
as well.
so people can get it.
What
Oh,
did
you
you
put it
say?
on the
Start
Instagram.
first part, but send the link.
I have a link.
Send the link. Don't just say the live is starting. Send the link as well. Oh, does somebody want to put it on Instagram?
On one? Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to put it on the
do it.
Instagram.
How many people have we got? We've got Emma
I'm
saying,
alive,
oh, we've
I
got
can
5
see
people.
us. I can see us. This is so weird. How do I make this full screen though? This. Oh, full screen.
Guys, we've got 5 people watching.
Woohoo!
Shit.
Numbers are going up.
It's lagged, girls.
It is loud, but it's fine. So, Maddie, you're introducing, yeah?
Yeah.
Put thumbs up.
You want me to introduce now?
No, we'll start at
No, not
5:15.
yet.
We'll start once we have some viewers. I sent the link to.
Yeah, so we'll start at 5:15. Emily,
It's
why do you
okay.
look really concerned? Emily's up there looking.
Guys, it's so weird.
Just
I'm
my
looking
face-
at the
just my
YouTube.
face, apparently.
I'm looking at the YouTube on my phone and I can see all our faces. Oh god, you can't see it. It's really weird.
Okay, yeah, we've got 5 people, but is that 5 people, all of us?
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm not on.
Oh,
Okay, so
if we have any people watching,
Actually got
just say
5
hi
people
in the
with
chat.
viewer.
I'm putting it on a story. Oh, wait, actually.
Guys, we've actually lost. Oh no, we've got 5 people. Okay, we'll start next. It's actually weird looking at the YouTube. Like, I don't like looking at the YouTube live because it confuses me because it's lagged. So
No!
no, it's fine that it's lagged though. It was just people will see what we're saying later.
Yeah, it's
Then
not
we've said it.
like an internet issue.
Okay, cool. We've got 6 people. Exciting.
Yeah. If there are people watching, we're just waiting for more viewers to join.
I'm like a university lecturer when you say that.
I think we should start soon, and then the conversation, people can just join in when.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just.
It's just going to be us sitting here for 20 minutes.
Okay. Oh, well. So I sent it to my group chat, and my dad said, "My battery's low. Sugni is not. She said nobody is going to watch it live."
Lovely.
Wow. That hurt. That hurt.
How kind.
Okay, should we start?
Sure. Well,
Yep.
hi guys, and welcome to Wes Chit Chat. I'm Madalena. I'm here with Emma, Emily, Simran, and Gloria. And today, wave. And today we are going to be talking about the government response to COVID and, how we've been coping with lockdown. We did an episode on this last week, and this week we wanted to get you guys involved and hear about your questions and opinions. So we've decided to do a YouTube Live, which is a lot harder than you think. And so I guess I'll start off with a question. How have you guys found university during this lockdown?
So this semester, like from the new year. Well, we've only been back a week, but I don't know. It feels weird. I think this semester is a lot of your own work, like for us anyway. I don't know about you guys, but like we can't go into uni. I don't think it's much different to the first semester. I don't think it's much different, to be honest. But I don't know if you guys think differently.
I don't know, I think it is quite different because last semester.
Yeah, I feel like it's not that different. No.
Last semester, the engineering building, the university building was open because I used to go there a lot, and obviously this semester it isn't, but the library is still open. I don't know, I feel like a lot of my friends haven't moved back though, and I don't really want to move back before they do because I don't want to sort of be isolated and feel lonely, isolate with my family. So I think it is a bit different.
the same way. I mean, it's only been a week, so I can't really say much apart from it's the exact same as last semester. I have like 5 hours of lectures on one day, and everything that I didn't like about last semester, I'm doing the exact same thing this semester. Like where you have lecture followed by a tutorial, you don't even get time to look at the questions. It's the exact same thing. So for me, that just made me frustrated. And it's only
Maddie and I
one.
had a lecture the other day. We had a lecture the other day. It was a 4-hour lecture with 1 5-minute break.
What?
I know, it was crazy. It was so exhausting, and all I had to do was sit there. And it was interesting stuff, but by the end of it, my brain
it's
was
hard.
like
It
a
is hard to
sieve.
focus. It's hard to focus for
Yeah.
that long, especially in front of a screen. But in our other podcast episode, we were talking about, so the one that we released last week, we were talking about the government and uni responses, and we were saying how we were basically mainly focusing on mental health and saying that we feel like mental health has kind of been forgotten about or not really focused on as much as it should be. We were saying that the uni should do something about it, and I think we gave suggestions like maybe have a talk before a lecture, like have a little video explaining that there's people here for the mental health. But I feel like we said this last week, but then I got an email from uni like, oh, the mental health team are here to support you, and I feel like, oh, I just had to go at uni saying that there's no support, and then I got an email.
I think
like,
we
the
all
next
got
day.
sent that
I felt
email.
so bad.
I think we all got sent that because I thought the exact same thing. I was thinking, oh, we've just slated the uni for this, and they've just sent an email about
it's
it.
like they knew.
Exactly. But I
Yeah.
still feel the same way. I mean, one email doesn't change it. One email does not change the way that I feel about how the uni has dealt with mental health and getting it to the students that need it. I still feel like there could be so much more improvement.
I feel like they need to be more like
What about you?
consistent with it. It's like no good just saying it at the start of semester when everything's really easy and we don't have like a huge workload and we're just doing introductions. But what about like 8 weeks in, we're stressed, we feel like we can't finish
That's so
it,
true.
like right at the height of lockdown as well. Like that's when it will really matter. So hopefully they will continue this and it's not just one random email, but I guess we'll see.
How do you think, what do you think are other ways that they could, because I'm thinking, what other ways can they really show that there's support, like other than sending emails right now, what can they do instead of it, do you think?
I feel like they just need more staff because obviously, unfortunately, a lot of people's mental health has taken a turn for the worse because of lockdown. Don't know if they have the capacity to sufficiently manage everyone's mental health. I feel like if they had a larger team working in the department, they'd be able to get in touch with more students more regularly.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think shoving it in people's faces during lectures is probably the best way because it's quite hard because we're not on campus. So there aren't that many ways that they can actually do it apart from being online. But I think it's definitely true that people's mental health has gotten really bad. I mean, like one of my friends yesterday, I saw on her Instagram, her flatmate took his life just on Tuesday because of mental health, and it just shows how bad this lockdown has been on many students, and it's really sad because you can't get those people back. And even though I didn't know him, it's still really sad because these people are like the same age, they do kind of similar courses, and they've taken their life because of how bad their mental health was. So it's really sad, and I think that they need to understand the seriousness of it and like Simran said, find different ways to get it to students, such as like lectures or through tutorials, through emails, or even just having maybe different like added sessions to the timetable just for mental welfare for students. I feel like that's always
Maybe.
quite a good student.
Got an idea.
Not student
They
option.
should. So they have like there's sports classes and there's yoga. Why don't Kusu offer like free yoga classes that you can just drop into, or free meditation, or some sort of free class, or like a free fitness class that you can go to? Because I think that'd be quite cool. Because people, like, obviously external places are doing this. Like I can't remember who sent us a link to a yoga class and they're offering a free class. But people are doing that. So why doesn't uni think, okay, let's offer the students some free, I don't know, free yoga class? I think that I would actually do that. That'd actually be really fun.
I would join you as well. I think if we're going to be paying for something, they might as well offer these kind of activities.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say you're doing during this time to keep yourself sane?
Walks. I think I go on lots of walks.
Yeah,
Just
me
to get
too.
out, get some fresh air, see the world that I've forgotten about from my room. Like, just get out.
Yeah, I go on a weekly walk with my friend. So
Oh, that's cute.
yeah, like a 3-hour walk on a Friday, and it just really helps clear my head.
Yeah.
Also, lots of eating. I feel like I just eat my way through lockdown.
What about you, Emma?
I feel like, don't know, kind of the best way, especially now that we spend kind of all day at the computer with lectures, tutorials, and working. I think the best way is just maybe to talk to someone or go for walks or do sport. Because obviously, as you say, like it helps with back pain, high strain, but even like moves your hormones, right? Like it pushes you, like your endorphins, so you feel better and you feel better mentally as well. So it could just be, and obviously you're gonna burn those calories. No, I mean, like I think, yeah. I mean, there's not a lot we can do. So the only thing that comes to my mind is sport or talk to someone. So you can't really go anywhere or do anything. Even all these things online after a while are a bit boring. So yeah, probably sport, my best suggestion.
Very true.
I saw now that a lot of gyms are doing online classes, so like you can sign up for a membership and you just join them online, which is actually very cool. I think about it.
Gyms are doing online classes?
Yeah, which I didn't know. And I was really surprised. Finally, I mean, it's smart and nice, and you can keep up with like training and everything.
That is cool.
So back in Coventry, some of us at home. Why did you decide to go back to your university house for lockdown?
There's a bit of an echo. I don't know if that's just me who can hear an echo.
It was a little
echo. Why did we decide to go back to uni was the question, I think. So me and Gloria are the only one. Everyone else is at home still. Basically, we don't like our family at all. No, that's why we wanted to come back to uni. No, it wasn't. I mean, that could be a reason why you do want to come back to uni, which is fair enough. But no, that's not the reason why I wanted to go back to uni. I do love my family, although, yeah. I mean, I did want to stay at home, but then I thought this is my last semester of uni, so I may as well go back. And also, I feel like I focus more. There's less distractions than there are at home because I'll just wake up at whatever time. Like I'll just watch TV for a while and just end up being so unproductive, and it'll get to 5 o'clock and I'll be like, oh, okay, I should probably do some work. Whereas if I'm at uni, I don't really have as many distractions. So that's why I came back.
I feel like I've got a better routine at uni as well, like work routine, as in like when I get out of bed, like I won't just lie in because everyone else is lying in. Like time to go to the library, set day for a food shop. So I think that routine, especially through lockdown, is sort of helping me stay on top of things. Otherwise, yeah, it would just be a mess with all the distractions and things. So just to focus more, and then yeah, uni's got like the library's still, which I'm quite surprised about, but the library's still open, so there's that space.
But there's barely any people, which is good. So
Yeah, which is nice.
yeah. How are you finding staying at home
during lockdown?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, I haven't had lectures before while being at home because we just had coursework in the first lockdown, and so it was kind of just working at my own speed. But I have to say it's quite hard to concentrate when doing them, but I also like not having to cook when I'm at home. And also I can be a bit
That's a big
lazy
one
with
for me.
cleaning and stuff like that. I don't know, I think it's quite nice to have, there's pros and cons to having family at home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm currently like struggling with the decision because I do miss being in uni and I miss my house. So I'm sort of struggling with the decision of when I should go back, because I would be going back to live in a house by myself. So what I'm thinking, I don't especially want to go back yet before some more of my friends move back, just because I'm worried about feeling isolated or lonely.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't have gone back if I was going to be on my own. Like if Gloria and Josh didn't go back, I would stay at home, I think.
My housemates they've said they're not going back. So I don't know, I'm just waiting to play it by ear. But I completely understand what you mean, Simran. And if my housemate was going back, I think I would go back as well, because, you know, I miss being in uni and I miss having the experience of being in uni. And I completely agree that it's harder to sort of concentrate and focus on lectures at home as well. So it is tough.
Yeah, I don't feel the same way when it comes to that. Like, I feel like if I went back to uni, I'd just be sitting in my house. That's it. You know, I don't feel like I'd be doing much, so it's not really much of a difference being here compared to being at uni for me, because I don't feel like I'd be enriching my experience because I wouldn't be going to the library or anything. I'd just be sitting in my room in a different house with heating that's not as good. So, although the Wi-Fi is better there, so yeah, for me it's
your
kind of the
Wi-Fi's better at
same.
uni.
Yeah.
What about you, Emma?
I'm enjoying being at home, if I'm honest. At the beginning, when Boris did the announcement and everything, I was a bit worried because obviously we weren't really confident going back because of our Wi-Fi. So I was really struggling to take a decision. But then I kind of tried to adapt of the life here. So I got my own space, which my sister hates me for that because I got her desk. But I mean, I'm trying to follow a routine every day and trying to not get distracted. Or maybe I tell my sister, for example, sorry, Alice, can I have some time off because I need to study? And then it's nice because after I study, I remember during the first semester, I was just being in my house and maybe on the screen again, while here maybe mommy comes back to work, so we all together, we cook something or we do other things. So yeah, I don't know, I'm enjoying being with my family because I've been so far away from them, and I don't know, I'm just enjoying it. It's fine. It's a change, and I like it.
Definitely. Not to mention the fact that the snacks are always there.
Oh.
I was just going to add on, not to mention that there's always snacks around. Like, there's always food to eat.
That's true. You don't have to worry about cooking dinner. Actually, saying that, I do cook when I'm at home, so
yeah.
If my mum's watching this, she'll be like,
I help out, but I don't need to think about what I'm going to eat.
True.
Yeah.
How do you guys think? So obviously we spoke about how the government responded, and I don't know if people watching our live now, if they want to ask us a question or if they want to share how they think the government has responded to lockdown, or universities, like for students, how they've responded, or like your thoughts. That would be quite interesting and we could discuss that. But yeah, I think, what do you guys think? We said before that we don't think the government responded very well. Do you still agree with that a week later after being at uni?
very reactive.
You can go.
Sort of waited for it to get really bad before they did anything, whereas they could have prevented it from getting as bad by sort of having more initiative.
Yeah. I'm just concerned that they're gonna not ruin it again, about take another decision, which will be like, for example, let's reopen everything in a week time, and then we would be back again in a bad position than where they will close. In this situation right now, I would be feeling more confident, safer if we just keep everything shut, maybe for a longer time, but then we will have better results later on, instead of just going in and out, which I find more mentally unstable for me, because I think like, oh yes, I'm finally ready to go out, like do other things, be more free, and then you go back in lockdown. Once when you are in lockdown, you kind of get used to, but the transition I think is the worst problem. Like it's worse than.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you guys saw that article or something that was about if we locked down and absolutely closed everything for 2 weeks, we'd actually come out of it fine. But
Really?
like if we shut absolutely everything, obviously it would it might not be feasible. But if we just shut everything off, we could actually like come out of this so much quicker. So it's crazy when you have like that kind of statistic and you compare it to what we're going through. Like we could have got through this a lot quicker. And I completely agree with Emma, especially for the mental health of like just people in general. If they just need to do it once, like get it sorted once and for all so we can move on. And if that means staying on lockdown like for another 2 weeks, then just do it so that we can be done with it and like have spring like with things open and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And it's crazy because I think the UK is the worst country for death rates, or like still is quite high as well. But there's like countries like Australia and New Zealand that are living like normal lives now because when it happened, they sorted it out. And I don't know, it's like, why did we not just do that? Like, why was it so difficult? I don't understand.
Exactly. This is what I find unbelievable, that it's not impossible. Like they showed us, they are now living a perfect, like normal life, and we're still here.
Do you think that we're to blame, the public, more than the government?
I think it's the government because they took a different route. Because if you look at Australia and New Zealand, their aim was to just stop it, whereas in this country they were like, oh, we're gonna get immunity.
Let's delay.
You know, who cares if 3% of the population die? Like, as long as we have immunity.
Here's as well though, I know like the public disregard the rules, but if the government were more consistent and more sort of clear on what they were doing, because there was a point where there was a different rule for Wales, there was different rules for England, certain different tiers, and it was just all really confusing. So I feel like if they've remained in Australia, they've maintained the same rules throughout the pandemic. Like even now when they're out of it, they've still got travel bans going on.
Yeah, I don't know how as a country, which is meant to be a very good country and very, very good country, has got it so wrong. Like, has got it so wrong compared to others. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. I am actually confused. Like, I don't know.
I don't know why they did it as well. Like, it's not fair for people. It's not fair for businesses. A lot of people lost jobs just because of this uncertainty. And I don't know who's going to benefit. No one. So I don't see the bigger picture.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I think people do kind of, I mean, it's obviously some people don't, I'm going to say take the piss a bit. Like they do at the start, they still went over to people's houses. They still did this. And a lot of times they were like, oh, it's not really a big deal. And they only realize it's a big deal when it actually affected or it affects someone they know. And it's like, well, it's not happened to me yet, so I can carry on living my life. So in that sense, but then also maybe the government's fault because they didn't like put strict rules enough for people to understand.
I saw the other day on the news, police broke up a wedding where there were 400 people at the wedding in North London.
What?
Like, how does that make They're obviously
Yes,
all
I've got a
making
point.
I know,
sacrifices
it was
on
in some
lockdown.
school, and I remember someone on my group chat was like, "Oh, I hope it's not our school," because there's always something happening in one of these North London schools. And it
How
was
does it
there
make
was
you feel
loads of
when you see
people.
people flaunting the rules when we're obviously making sacrifices to stick to them?
Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. There was so this is a point actually. I saw today on the news that a person like in Kensington, they had a party with 200 people and they got fined, I think, £1,000. And I'm pretty sure it's 1,000 because I was like, what? How did they only get fined £1,000? Like it was obviously
Yeah.
like a really rich person who had a party with 200 people. And it's honestly a joke. It's honestly a joke. And how
You
Other
divide that
places
by
are being
200
fined.
as well.
traveling, like
Yeah.
why
If you
did
I
divide
it
by
understand the
200, it's not
point.
even that much.
What's even the point of having a party with so many people?
Yeah. Oh
Like,
wait.
what are you trying to? What you trying to do?
I don't
Yeah.
even know that many people. But I think it's
Yeah.
definitely partly the government, because if they're not willing to be
Sorry,
as
£10,000.
yeah, if they're not willing to be as strict on it, then obviously that allows the public to push the boundaries more than if they were stricter on it. Because if you look at other
I
countries that
don't
were
know about the fine thing because, like, for example, this party, it's obviously a rich person, so probably £10,000 to them is like,
So what did
I
you
feel
think?
like it needs to be something worse.
Proportional, yeah.
But I don't know.
You think about the people that say lockdown has taken away some of their rights, like their right to go out and socialize, like the right to go and earn money.
Socializing and earn money is different things, though. But the right to socialize. If you're complaining about your right to socialize, yeah, just like that's annoying.
I was just making an example. Some people say they feel like, I don't know, the government are trying to use this as an opportunity to create a dictatorship by controlling people. I don't agree with any of this. I just heard it, so I was wondering what you guys thought and would say to someone who believes this.
What would you guys say? I feel like I have opinions on this.
On like conspiracy theories in general.
Oh, let's talk conspiracy theories actually about.
Oh, they've gone a bit out of control in 2020.
Yeah.
They've been going all over.
They were in control before.
Well, no, but I feel
Get what
like
you mean.
there's more people to see them, such as the thing about 5G. It was just a bit crazy.
I can't believe that, actually.
Ali G. Can't believe it.
I just
No, I think,
yeah.
yeah. No, you go, Maddie.
There's so many people that believe these things. It's scary, and these people are crazy. I'm sorry if you believe that.
Still believe that the Earth is flat. What do we then expect?
But the thing is, it's crazy
Why
how
would they
many
do their own
people believe these things. Because you've got to be stupid
Literally.
to believe them. I'm
There's
sorry.
so many people. Did you hear the theory that there are traces of like pork and different kinds of meat in the vaccine trying to put people off having it?
Really?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be possible. What about halal people? Like,
No, that's
Yeah,
why
no, I
they're, that's why
I
they're
know
saying
people
that,
are
I think.
using that as a reason to not have the vaccine.
yeah.
Doctors are having to come out and be like, "This isn't true. We promise." Then like
Well,
proves it.
It's crazy
any-
the news that spreads, which is
they try everything. We should appreciate maybe the creativity.
There's WhatsApp and Facebook group chats. That's where you get all the conspiracy theories.
You should literally hear like I'll see my mum's phone and the videos that people send her. Like we were all sitting down having dinner like when I was home, and my dad was literally like, "I hope you're not forwarding those to anyone," because that's what it is. Like, you just get a WhatsApp video message from like an auntie or a friend or something, forward it to somebody else. It enters like 5 group chats and it's spread across like the whole of Cov or the whole of London. Like, and then these things just grow, and it could literally be me sitting in my room typing a message and just putting it out there from like even my head or something that I read somewhere. So it's so dangerous.
exactly. And I think it's like it's bad because it targets, like my grandma, for example. She would talk to her sisters and then she'll come back and be like, did you hear about this and this? And we're like, no, that's not true, like don't believe that. But because they don't know and they can't really understand these things,
What is it
it's
with old
hard for,
people
like,
and
the
believing
elderly
all these
people.
things? Like even my grandfather, when he was alive, he would believe all these different conspiracy theories about like eating meat, this, that, and the other. And it was like, you were fine before. Why do you think you're suddenly not going to be okay? And the fact that they just believe it, they don't question it. It really irritates me.
Yeah.
Well, we've got
I remember
questions, guys.
Have we?
We've got questions. Shall I read them out?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, from George. Do you think the lack of robust test and trace kept the UK behind countries such as South Korea, who had very robust test and trace systems? We can answer this one first, then we've got another question. So test and trace, do you think the lack of it is the reason why we're so far behind than other countries?
I think it could
Partially
have
the
been,
reason.
yeah, I think it could
Also-
definitely be an influencer because there wasn't that it wasn't really that much enforced. It was like if you come in and you have the app, you can scan it. If you don't, just go in. So if only a proportion of the population are using it, how effective will it really be if you only know like 10 out of 100 people what they're doing? And so it was, I feel like they put a lot of effort into it, whereas they should have put more effort into something else if they weren't going to enforce it properly. But
App as well, like Gloria said, you don't have a guarantee that everyone's going to download it, but also I know people that get like regular false positives and regular false negatives. So there's issues with the app that need to be resolved, but also with the test and trace. The thing that annoyed me was that the government promises about how strict and robust the system was going to be, and then it just wasn't, and they didn't seem to be doing anything active to take those statements back or even sort of rework the system to live up to those promises.
Yeah. Okay, does anyone else want to add? Because we've got two other questions as well.
I think that maybe a stricter, I haven't seen that. I think maybe a stricter trace and track policy would have probably helped, because obviously maybe even not just like for people, they would know that there were controls, so they would have stayed more, like they would stay more home or do more the right thing. Obviously, then it goes against human rights and stuff like this, but I mean, at the end, it's mostly made to make us safe and to make people that are vulnerable safe. So probably it's not just the only difference, because I know, for example, in places like South Korea, they used like everyone that was going there, it must have isolated. They were giving out or like specific hotels for people to isolate, and they were doing tests before.
Exactly.
In the UK, we were even thinking about it.
Yeah, UK didn't do anything.
Exactly. So I think that was part of it, obviously, because you monitor where people were. But I think there are major other things that the UK could have done, like stop traveling, for example, and letting people going in and out. Considering that it's an island, that they could do it easily.
Why they could do that at the start is honestly
exactly.
I don't understand.
Easy for us because we're an island as well. It wouldn't have been difficult.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, I think, Emma, what you were saying about other countries, how they made sure people, when they came back, they stayed in like a hotel. Like all these countries like Malaysia, Singapore, like they just gave them hotels. You have to stay there for 2 weeks. Like, why couldn't we do that?
And also what they did is that they made people pay for the hotels they stayed in. Because I know specifically Malaysia anyway, if you went there, you had to pay for the hotel and the tests. And so that really put people off traveling.
Yeah, because I mean, unless you really need to, you weren't supposed to be traveling. Or like in Italy, they were stricter with people going out. Here, no one ever checked if you were going out or anything, which is ridiculous to think about. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, next question. Also, if their techniques of tracking people down were implemented, would people see this as an invasion of privacy in Western culture? I think we kind of touched on this, but yeah.
I was just about to say, I think it's a Western culture thing that that's why people say that, oh, it's like my human rights, you're tracking all of us. And
they track us anyway, so Google.
Exactly. I just think you have a phone. You have a phone. Yeah. You really think that you don't get tracked?
Yeah. Have you seen
probably have a credit card. You're being tracked anyway.
the BBC the other day, there was an article where they released reports of people moving in the first, second, and third lockdown, and they took it off our
Yes, I saw
phones.
that. Yeah.
Obviously, they don't know the individual, which probably they do anyways. But they were all graphs, and they could have seen where everywhere we went, like if it was pleasure, if it was social, if it was commuting. It's like, wow, we should have done test and trace at least if we have all the data anyways.
Yeah, but I feel like privacy is definitely already invaded, so people just need to. Yeah. Okay, and then question from Obi. Do you guys
Hi, Obi.
believe any conspiracy theories at all? And what do you think of people who question things that are usually accepted? For example, flat earth theory and Mandela effect. What's the Mandela effect?
That's where it's like that everyone thinks something is like spelt in a certain way, for example, but really it's spelt another way, and everyone's like, what? I swear it's never been spelt that way. It's like a something that's wrong that everyone thinks is right, and then when you see the right answer, you're like, what? I never knew that. But loads of people think the same thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know something like
In terms
this.
of the pandemic, I don't believe any conspiracy theories. And what I would say to people that sort of partially believe or rigidly believe in conspiracy theories, just try and educate yourself from reputable sources like the NHS website.
Yeah.
It's hard though, because I think someone who believes a conspiracy theory, they feel that they've taken the time to like go the mile and question certain things. So like the flat earth might be like, I know that a lot of people probably don't agree, but it might be like, oh, the government are just pretending to have gone to the moon, like it's all fake, it's all digitalized, like it's not real, and so they feel like they're stepping out. And so I know everyone here is like, oh, conspiracy theories are silly, but then they'll be like, you're silly for not believing.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, how do you not see it? Like, it's, yeah,
exactly.
Mm.
But yeah,
But this is why we do science, because most of them are BS and they've all been.
But then somebody could argue, well, they've taught you that because they want you to think that.
Exactly.
Like the same way that we strongly believe that the Earth is round, they equally as strongly believe that it's flat. And the same way we think they're stupid for believing that the Earth is flat, they think we're so stupid for believing it's round. Like it's just
that's fine because they're not getting anywhere in life, are they?
Yeah,
I don't
can't stand them.
I don't understand when like maybe some conspiracy theory they're not based on anything, but for flat earth, for example, they prove it so many times that it's not flat, even when they do their own documentaries, their own experiments.
That's what I mean, and these people still choose to be stupid.
It's still not flat. Like, why would you keep it? Like, I don't know, maybe for COVID, like there is no certain answer. Obviously it's no 5G or anything like that, but there might be people that believe like someone created and stuff like this. But you can't really be sure about that unless they discovered it or anything. But flat earth, my goodness.
Yeah. I feel like flat earth is the extreme. Like when you think of conspiracy theories, the first thing everyone thinks of is like the flat earth.
Do you think that the virus was made in a lab, or do you think someone just ate something dodgy in a
I want to believe there was an environmentalist that made it in order to stop people polluting the earth.
I think there was something about
Honestly, I don't believe that. I would like to believe.
Yeah, there was evidence in a Chinese lab.
Yeah, there was evidence. Yeah.
You know, like these revolutionary people that they worked in a lab, super smart people working in a lab, released it just to save the world. But
I don't think they purposely released it.
That's terrifying, though, because I don't think if it was manufactured, I don't think it was released on purpose. I think it was an accident. If it was, I don't even know.
This is an interesting one because there are a lot of people that think it was. What do you guys think? I'm going to say what I think, but what do you? I'm going to say after. But what do you guys think?
It was in a lab and there was an accidental kind of.
Really?
Well, yeah, because research labs, because this virus was known about before. It's not like it suddenly popped out of nowhere. You know, people have talked about it in things like TED Talks before, and how it could have be a possible issue in future, and obviously it is now. But it's not like it wasn't known before.
What do you think, Gloria?
Like, with stuff like this, I don't even want to speculate, because as much as people were like, do you know how people are, oh, they've got conspiracy theories because of X, Y, Z? I also don't want to trust, not that I don't trust the media, but I'd never take anything in the media at face value, because I bet in 10 years we're going to find out something else. So there's probably like loads of sources that say, oh yeah, it was in a lab, or it came from a bat, or it came from this, it came from that, all these things that people are saying, but really and truly, like, someone's just put that on the internet, so how can you sort of verify that? So in my head, I'm
Been
just
all
like,
of them.
it's here now.
Who knows?
Right,
Yeah, to be honest, at the end of the day, does it really matter? Like, coronavirus,
like,
can't do anything about it. Wherever it started,
It won't make it go away.
Yeah.
Or it won't make people stop dying either.
Yeah. I mean, I am still curious, like, where has this actually come from? But
and how can we prevent something like this happening again?
Yeah.
That's the question. Exactly. How many times that they tried already, and secret spies stop this. 3 movies will come up in 2023.
Yeah, but do you guys remember, like, at the start of when at the start of the pandemic, it felt like they weren't taking it seriously, because I remember they hadn't ordered things like masks and whatnot. Do you remember?
Yeah, and I feel
Really,
like, I think, yeah, Emily, you go.
I was just going to say, back in like November, December at the start, I wasn't taking it seriously. We were joking about it in lecture halls because we never thought that it would have the impact that it has had on such a global...
October, November? Did you know about it in October and November?
The first report was in December.
I think.
Yeah.
I remember in January starting hearing about it.
I remember
like,
January.
oh, this is something that is going to go away. It's never going to come here. It's never going to affect us.
But I think if it happened again, they'd be a lot more prepared as to what to do and not to take it, and to take it a lot more seriously.
Well, we hope so, yeah.
So I read this thing, whether it's true or not, but the government has like a list of the biggest threats to like the country, and the number one threat was a pandemic, but the thing that they most prepared for was terrorism. So like pandemics are meant to, or like epidemics or something, come like every 100 years or something. They're like seasonal. So they knew that something like this was coming, but they were most prepared for like a terrorist attack, even though this, like, by all the data and stuff, was the top of the list. So,
and it was.
That's just because terrorism unfortunately happens more often.
Yeah, but pandemic is a bigger threat to life, I think.
Yeah.
Bigger threat to a large number of people.
Yeah. Also, I think my mum and dad were telling me this because they got given like masks and stuff by the government, and they got given out of date stuff, and all these hospitals and stuff got given out of date stuff because the government didn't order everything in time. And it's just like they didn't order from companies, and they ordered from, I think, Turkey or somewhere else.
Yeah.
And all the things were coming faulty. Yeah, I mean, how could they not be prepared for something when they knew about it? How could they not be prepared in advance? Like, okay, we knew about it in January. We knew in China it was happening in January. I remember having a conversation with my dad and being like, oh, did you hear about this coronavirus thing? He's like, yes. I was like, do you think it's going to happen here? He'd be like, no, it won't happen now in March. Dad, what are we saying? Yeah, but I don't know. The government didn't prepare well in terms of PPE and everything. There's a big thing about that. I think there was a Panorama show on that. Yeah. Have you guys seen Panorama?
I have, and it's so trippy. Makes you question everything. What conspiracy theories do you believe, Simran, about sort of where it came from?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel I like to think that it's not from a lab, just because I like to think humanity isn't really like that. But I don't know. I don't know.
Tough one.
Yeah.
What's our next question, Obi?
Yeah, Obi, go on. Give us a question. I mean, we've got 5 minutes left, and then we're basically finished.
You guys see that about other universities, but I think Coventry is trying to refund students in university-owned accommodation 80% of their rent.
That's not fair, because we are not there.
It really irritates me because we're not in uni accommodation anymore.
Missed it by a year. Damn.
80%.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so good though. It's good.
Yeah, that's very good.
They're trying to urge other companies to give students refunds.
Yeah.
Then I guess as a landlord, you can say,
Will
well, that's
never
my
happen.
livelihood. That's my livelihood. So I guess you'd have to offer support for them if you
To be
took that.
fair, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not.
that's
I don't know if
true.
it's fair for a private landlord because obviously they rented, they lived off that, and they could have rented to someone else that maybe would have stayed there completely. But student accommodations are made on purpose for students, so it's
Yeah.
fair if the student is not there. But maybe for a private landlord, like he could
Yeah,
have
but
rented
do
the
you-
house to anyone else. I know it's
do
not
you
fair, but
Yeah, I mean it's fair, but it's good that these people got their money back. But do you think that these private landlords, that's their main source of income? Because probably isn't, is it?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just. yeah, that's just
My
probably.
job probably isn't
Yeah,
being
quite a
landlord.
lot of them are. Well, a lot of the guys that I'm friends with, where they're living, they're all owned by the same people, and they'll have like 20 different properties. So
my
yeah,
God,
for those people, it probably is a main source of income, but I don't think it would kill them to give them a slight refund for the time
Yeah,
that they
because
haven't
it's not
been
a
able
nice
to go
feeling paying out rent when you can't live in the house.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on how the students have kept the house, obviously.
It's a joint.
But yeah, I
if they were
know like my landlord
stuff.
has another job, so I don't know.
But at the same time, these landlords, they've sort of planned that people are going to live in the house. And they've like budgeted for this. They might be like, hey, that's going to go to this. But we don't know. They could be.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we just signed a contract, so
Yeah, like we don't know what they're doing with the money. So
I think it depends on the landlord. Like
Yeah.
my landlord's great, but I know there are some really shitty landlords out there who are really horrible to their tenants, and for those people, I really feel. I
Yeah,
feel
that's
for them.
especially when you pay and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that was all the questions that we had. I mean, we kind of went off topic a bit. We just spoke about coronavirus in general, but I mean, nice conversation. Why
Gets
not?
Best.
Yeah. No, it's nice to have conversations like this because I don't know, it's just nice to share your thoughts on current situations.
Yeah, and it was nice to
Yeah,
get
'cause you can't
questions from
escape
other
it.
people.
Yeah, I know.
You get frustrated from other people, did you say?
I
You'll
said
get
it's nice to
questions.
get questions from other people.
Oh, I was like, who are you getting frustrated by, Matty? Are you-
Oh, these people watching the live, honestly.
Yeah.
We have
but-
another
No.
question.
Oh, do
Really,
we?
thank you for watching, guys.
Oh, career change after uni, or do you think you'll need / use?
We're gonna be podcasters, Obi, after uni. Clearly.
Yeah, career
was the
change.
question?
We're going to be presenters.
What
Career
is it?
change
What?
after uni, or do you think you'll need / use your degree for your career path?
I mean, I'm just on the straight path for engineering. I don't have a plan B at the minute. You know, I love what I'm studying, so
I'm just not really good at anything.
I don't have a plan A, so
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't have
Yeah.
a secret talent that I could use for another career path. So, I mean, once Simran
Right.
becomes a famous YouTuber, then I'm just gonna leech off of her. So,
yeah, I feel like
same.
that's not going to happen. I think I want to be a presenter. I want to be some sort of TV presenter, like Graham Norton, have my own.
That would be so
talk
good.
show.
100%.
Dude, I would watch that 100%. You'd be so good at that.
That'd actually be
Yeah,
fun. I
that's
think presenting would be such a fun thing to do. If I wasn't doing engineering, if I wasn't doing engineering, I would maybe want to do that. I mean, I could still do that. I'd probably get more money than being an engineer, being a presenter. Yeah.
Exactly. You never know. You could do engineering and become a comedian.
Do you think I could be a comedian, Maddie?
Yeah.
Or are you saying that in general?
I meant in general. I
I'm
mean,
really
there are,
excited. I thought, does Maddie think I'm funny?
but
that
there
I
are
could be
quite a few
comedian?
like comedians and actors that did engineering as a degree.
Mr.
So,
Bean. Mr.
Mr. Bean, I know.
Yeah, literally.
Electrical engineering, he did.
Exactly. So you can do anything.
Yeah.
If you believe in yourself.
Exactly.
You honestly, and you can.
that.
We're very young. We've got the rest of our lives. We'll probably go through a lot of different careers.
I love
in
how I'm
answer to
saying this like I
Toby.
believe any of it. Like I believe I could possibly do another career. I say this like
You do believe, or you don't?
I don't
I can't
really,
pick-
but I say that I do.
I can't picture myself doing anything else.
Really? That's nice. It's good to. It's good that, I feel like sometimes I can, but
I can definitely, yeah.
Doing a course that you can't picture your life without, that's perfect. Like, I definitely want to stay in engineering, but there's some other things I wouldn't mind dabbling in as well, like take a quick trip. But that's good.
Good. Multifaceted. We love to see it.
No, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we do. We'll have a 10-year reunion podcast and see where we're all at in our lives. We'll try and figure out how to do a live. It'll probably be 100 times harder with all the different things that's going on. It took
I know,
us,
it only
guys.
took us
How many
an
people are
hour and
watching?
a half
10
today,
people,
guys.
yeah.
Only an hour and a half to work out how to do a live on YouTube.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We got 10 watchers. We got 10 people watching. One of them was me on my phone, so
And quite consistent.
yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
thank you
thank you guys
for
for
listening
watching.
to us. Do you want to do that?
We didn't. Oh no, did we record this?
No, but we can.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did.
Mm. But
Okay.
thank you to everyone that came to the live. And we'll see you next week with another episode. Bye.
Bye. Do you know how to end the live?
Yeah, I think I go.